family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? Won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to talk about, well, I guess this one is for people, for somebody who is stuck in the energy of waiting and expectation. Okay, well, that's a frustrating place to be. So, when you're too fixated on the outcome of something or how something's going to pan out, how something's going to play out, right? Our egos and a lot of the time our lack of spiritual understanding or, understanding of energy dynamics in the world that we don't see with our physical eyes but play a role with everything that manifests within our physical realm, right? When you're too fixated on an outcome, when you're, stuck in this waiting and expectation energy for something that you want, and, it's so much so that you've developed tunnel vision and you can't see or properly digest or perceive other things that are happening around, or within your life or around this situation that you're hyper focused on, or holding yourself, stuck in this waiting and expectation energy. We don't realize that when we do that, we're actually holding the energy captive and restricting the flow in the etheric realm, in the spiritual realm, for the energy that we need to come together so it can pull whatever and whoever and whatever situations that need to be aligned for whatever it is that you're waiting for to manifest in this realm, right? Now, our egos and our belief systems around, how much we believe that the divine and the Most High is playing a role, right? Your ego and your beliefs will have you thinking that you get to pick and choose in what spaces and areas of your life the Most High and the divine is playing a role. We never ever, until you actually awaken and fully understand and recognize the energy flow, energy dynamics and plays between us and the universe, and how, all of it plays a role in the unfolding of certain things and the manifestation of certain things within our experience. When we're not awakened to that or tapped in and willing to actually see the bigger perspective of it all and accept and recognize that we're not operating in exclusivity, we're not operating in isolation, okay? The universe and the divine, Most High, they don't require you to have a full belief in them for them to deliver and act in your life. That's completely ego-based, okay? That's completely a result. That belief is a result of you being programmed into and stuck in a linear mind and way of thinking, okay? So understand that when you're hanging on to an outcome of something, when you're too hyper focused on something that you're hoping would or wishing to play out in a certain way, hoping and wishing would happen sooner, hoping and wishing, would just be and unfold to what you believe you want based on your ego, right? In a specific moment in time, based on the emotions also that you are experiencing and your lack as well that you're experiencing in the background at a specific moment in time. That's mostly what you're, what's driving you to be extremely focused on an outcome and stuck in the expectation energy, not realizing that you're working against yourself and holding the energy captive instead of allowing it to flow. Another layer to it all that is also happening at the same time is by you being so, by you holding it captive and you being hyper focused, you're also not allowing yourself to be open to and recognize and be able to perceive, and allowing yourself to be able to perceive that there are certain things probably within yourself that need to be aligned and adjusted before certain things can actually unfold and manifest or maybe arrive in your life, right? You might have the image and the outcome of what you want, and definitely it's something that you believe is going to make you feel good. It's going to put you into a higher experience. It's going to put you into a better energy, right? Something you desire, something you've probably or are putting work into, have put work into, are wishing for, right? But not realizing that maybe, just maybe, this specific thing that you're waiting for, this specific thing that you're wishing for, this specific thing that you're working on, this specific thing, whatever it might be that you're hoping to manifest or have arrive in your life, requires a whole other process that you need to engage in internally first before it can arrive. And the longer you stay out of that understanding, the divine will also use whatever it is to, delay it. So maybe somebody's in your way and that's frustrating you, right? Maybe there could be a number of things that could, that could be used within our experience by the divine, whether it's within our view or behind the scenes, to delay something until, and it's gonna, again, one of those things that'll knock on your ego and challenge all the resistance and the I want factor and the instant gratification programming and all those things, right? Challenge it all and break it down until you you ground yourself and learn what it is to be patient, learn to trust the process, learn to recognize that you need to go through a process. There's an adjustment that maybe needs to happen within you first before the universe will allow an alignment or the arrival of something to happen in your life, right? A desire or a want to manifest, the resources you need to move what you believe would be a step further in something that you're doing. Maybe there's a mindset that you need to adopt, grow into, and learn. Maybe there are things within you that need to be adjusted, right? Don't torture yourself and become jaded and disappointed, right? Because you're fixated in a specific moment in time. You've got yourself, unconsciously wrapped up and obsessed with an outcome of something and tortured by not being able to satisfy that urge that comes with the need for instant gratification. Settle yourself down. Recognize what you have going on with whatever you're fixated on is stressing you out unnecessarily. Take a breath, look around, recognize that your environment is at peace and it's fine. The chaos is going on in your mental space, right? The chaos is also going on with you emotionally. The chaos is a result of, you not being patient, you being impatient. And what does impatience in these situations create and cause they lead you to start moving into corrupt activities because you want something to happen now. They move you into a place of starting to, negotiate and compromise on your values and your morals and what you know is right and wrong, and then you move into manipulative behavior. Maybe there's a woman or a man that you're trying to, that you're hoping to bring into your life, or you've got this idea of a woman or a man that you would like to have the experience of, or that you wish you could share your life with. Everybody at some point has these, these hopes and dreams that, they get put into, they're how to say, they're received by the universe. However, you as an individual on the inside need to be able to align to that. As a man, you may want a specific type of woman in your life, but your inability to also go within and look at yourself, and you're in this place of probably just chasing and looking and hoping and having this image that you're trying to attach to whatever woman that you might in a specific moment in time feel drawn to or want to put that ideal image onto, not even realizing that the divine will not align you to it until you're actually a mental and vibrational match to that kind of person. Generally, the experience you're thinking about and that you're hoping for to manifest requires a certain kind of person on the inside, not what you're tethered as a man to judge the outside world with, the physical aspect of things, right? It's about the person on the inside that's going to help you build and create a certain experience. So the divine might have to bring your perspective into alignment. The divine might have to bring your inner dialogue into alignment, because generally the women that these men, well, not I don't want to say these men, but generally the women that men wish and hope to settle their lives down with require also the man to be in a certain place within himself. If you're insecure and she's a confident woman, her confidence is going to rub you the wrong way. You're going to be irritated by her. You're going to be insecure. You're going to maybe tear her down. You're going to try and start looking for other things on the outside of you that don't make you feel less than, because her confidence and her, you perceiving her as something more than you, whether you want to admit it or not. If you haven't worked on yourself, you're going to see somebody who is confident and comfortable with themselves as a threat, whether you admit it or you don't. And that manifests as you speaking down on them, you gossiping, you laughing at them, you telling yourself that they're a goody two-shoes, they're this, they're that, when the entire time you're speaking down on somebody that you've prayed for, aloud or quietly, to the universe. But you not being ready for that person has put you now into a place where you're projecting negatively. So probably these are the things the universe and the divine might have to bring into alignment with you. Your inner dialogue might be a little off, You might end up becoming a helicopter man, right? In the end, you're not ready for her, so you become a helicopter man and then you drive her away. The universe isn't trying to sabotage you or set you up, but sometimes you also need to be self-aware enough to recognize that you might not be ready for what you're asking for, and you have to take yourself through a process. Your ego will tell you that you're ready. Your ego will tell you, well, I've got the money, so she's got an issue with me. I've got the money. But maybe you're a fucking asshole. Maybe she's a woman, you asked for a woman who isn't going to be moved by the material and the financial aspects of life. But your mentality is actually only drawing in women who are like that. And a woman who isn't, moved by the financial and material aspects of life will not be somebody who's going to resemble the woman on the outside that you are physically attracted to, who are actually, how to say, aligned to those things, right? And put on all the bells and the whistles to draw, the attention of a man like you in. And then you marry those women and you end up with nightmares because you make decisions based on someone's physical appearance. You didn't make your decision based on how the state that the individual is in on the inside. What is it they're able to maintain? And a woman like that who is balanced, a woman like that who is able to maintain and sustain a certain, level of self-awareness and peace and balance and responsibility, is also going to look for those things within you. Because then you're just, if she ends up with you, then it's just going to be another toxic relationship, a toxic household. Maybe you're waiting for a payout. The divine will put all obstacles in the way for the payout to be delayed. Until if it's divinely given to you and it's not something that you're pulling in, that that's based on a lack of integrity with corruption and manipulation, the divine is going to make sure that you're able to hold on to and maintain whatever that payout or blessing is. I don't care how it's coming, whether it's a legal situation, whether it's whatever it might be out there under the sun. If it's aligned for your life plan, if it's aligned in something that is divinely coming to you, the divine is going to prepare you. Remove the people that are wrong. Make sure that your own lack issues and your money mindset and your own self-worth issues, your boundaries, all these things are steady and intact. The divine will delay things, right? Even with bringing a prepared man or a woman into your life. They will delay things so that you can investigate the people around you, so that you can settle and see this delay as a blessing. So you allow people around you to reveal themselves. Work with the divine to help you, help you see the truth about those around you, so that what's not good for you and what's not going to be, conducive to sustaining whatever the blessing or the payout or the man or the woman coming into your life, or the family you want to create, or the stability you're trying to achieve. So you can see beyond the veil and move those things out. That takes time, right? Allow something to play its course out. Let something play out. Maybe the divine is also using the delay so that everybody who might have been a hindrance to you receiving something right now plays out whatever needs to be played out, so that also things can come to you easily. Things can arrive with you in peace. Not now that you get your money and everybody that is the wrong body to be around has their hands in, your boundaries are not in place. So now you have to dish everything out. You're going to lose it as quick as it has come, right? So don't always see, don't always see a delay. Don't always see a waiting period. Don't always see the need for patience as something negative and something that's working against you. If you're working well and you're aligned with the universe, understand that whatever is meant for you is for you, and you will be prepared accordingly for it. Whatever you have in your life that is born of your ego, born of all the imbalances, that's the stuff that's going to make, that's the stuff that all the chaos in your life is born out of. And if you're real with yourself, then you're able to tell the difference between what you have in your life that's based off of your ego and your lack and your imbalances, and what's in your life because it's something that has come of the divine, that has come in to help bring you stability, to help bring you clarity, to come as a blessing, to fulfill and grant you one of your desires, and position you accordingly to be able to keep it protected and maintain it. Okay? So release, allow the energy to flow. Don't be stuck in your ego and think that you're the man, yet you don't even know the left or right in your life. There's a whole bunch of weirdos and people and imbalanced energy living off of the illusion and turning a blind eye to to the areas that actually need to be looked at, the areas that actually need to be balanced out, things that need to be cleared out, space that needs to be made, a higher perspective that needs to be gained. I've said it before, you can be 50 years old, 45 years old, and still be living in the mind and the reasoning of an 18-year-old. And the people you hang around that are around you based on your ego are not the ones who are going to awaken you to that. And the ones who are not in that space will be able to also recognize you and point you out. And once you elevate out of that space, you're going to be able to recognize as well and point those people out. Maybe the divine needs you to also move into a place where the people you have around you are actually a true reflection of you. Not people who are, influenced by whatever it is that, they don't even reflect who you are appropriately. Because their presence is covered in illusions and manipulation. And no truth, no one confident enough to awaken you to truth. People with agendas. Telling you the truth means that they might lose out on something. You might turn your back towards them. Whatever their fears might be, whatever their dependencies on you are. Right? So don't be too fixated. If you're in a place of being too fixated and feeling impatient and frustrated because of this energy and space of being in expectation and waiting, relax and just shift your focus a little bit. Bring your ego down and ask yourself, okay, well, maybe I'm holding this up. Maybe I need to first bring myself into alignment so that I can also just move with the flow, okay? And get into the correct dynamic with the universe for what's actually happening in my life. Because my ego and my linear mind has had me too short-sighted. My ego and my linear mind has me only focused on the outcome and having something right now and overlooking and paying value to the aspects of myself that actually also need to be adjusted and need to be right for what it is that I want. Let me get out of my ego and stop thinking that I know everything. Stop thinking that I've learned all I need to learn. Stop thinking that my mindset is where it needs to be to actually have certain things in my life and maintain them. Because you know what, maybe I might squander it. Maybe I haven't mastered yet the feelings and the emotions and the urges I have in myself when it comes to spending. Maybe I haven't mastered yet settling in the idea and the word, or telling myself no and sticking to it. Maybe I haven't mastered, telling people on the outside of me no. There's always a lot to consider, right? So pay attention to what's important. Pay attention to why you're here. Yes, accumulation and having is part of this experience. It is. We're in a material world, right? But we need to sort of ground ourselves and recognize that we're here because we need to elevate and ascend and become enlightened to ourselves, right? So I think I'm going to leave it there, family. Yeah. Don't be too stressed out. Okay? It will happen when it's meant to happen. It will come to you when it's ready. And you will always know what the next right move is to make when you slow down, when you're patient, and when you allow the next move to be apparent to you. Don't go outside of yourself and start messing and sabotaging yourself and, unsettling energies that are actually moving, to your benefit. Some things, you just don't have control over. And if it's of the divine, you might be being taught the lesson of patience right now, the lesson of self-awareness, the lesson of endurance, and learning how to balance yourself and let go, and probably see the truth about yourself and others. And, like I said, decide, are the people around you a true reflection of who you are? Or are they also just part of the illusion? Something to think about, huh? Anyway, I'm going to pull a card today. I was guided today to get the Miracle Cards deck out by Marianne Williamson, okay? And see what Spirit has to support our conversation here, or give whoever's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction, okay? Let's see. Spirit, may I please have one card? Just one, please. Please have one, thank you. Our body. Pay attention to yourself, okay? Pay attention to the feeling of impatience. Pay attention to when your mind is in chaos because you're actually too hyper-focused on something that you have no control over. Pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to the difference between you feeling something and you being emotional. Pay attention to you acting out of impulse, you acting out of impatience, you trying to get ahead of a situation because you're impatient, because you're not grounded and willing to just sit and let something play out. Okay? Release the energy and allow it to just, I'm hearing, wait until you hear what the next move is. Wait until you hear something. I don't know who that's for, but wait until you hear something. Okay. The card says, a healthy perception of our body is one in which we surrender it to God and ask that it is used as an instrument through which love is expressed into the world. The use of our body for anything other than the extension of love is diseased thinking. So don't jump corners and ask the divine, what's the next thing you need to see? What's the next thing you need to do? And if they say pause, this video is probably here to the divine giving you a clear answer to pause. Don't sabotage yourself. Pause. Everything is going to work out the way you want it to, maybe even better. But you have to just trust the universe and try and just be more perceptive that there might be just a bigger thing that is happening here. There might be something grander that you're a part of, something bigger that's happening that, your linear mind and your impatience and your hyper focus on something might not be allowing you to see. Okay? Something might be bigger than what you are making it out to be right now. So I hope it resonates. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And yeah, family, I guess I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye.